This is your high school spotlight brought to you by the LHSAA Network. Intersectional games across Louisiana have matched up some powerhouse programs like Catholic and Warren Easton and Rummel versus U-High. We've also seen teams from North Louisiana like West Monroe and Ruston garner big wins on the road in Baton Rouge and New Orleans. West Monroe fired its coach this week, citing student-athlete safety issues. But the Rebels are already 1-0 with their new leader after beating East Ascension to punctuate a long road trip. And Warren Easton won't be in the playoffs this year, but turned plenty of heads with a senior-laden lineup that dominated Catholic High in Baton Rouge. The Bears are facing U-High tonight in a battle of Week 2 upset victims. The Cubs could not hold a double-digit lead over Rummel, falling 20-17 as the Raiders shut them out in the second half.
You know, we're kind of banged up, and I think the guys maybe, you know, it's hard sometimes. You got to fight the mental side of it too, and you know, understanding what we're without. So for them to fight through that and the way they came on in the second half, I thought was very impressive. And you know, we challenged them at halftime a little bit. We looked a little timid in the first half. So again, just really proud of the way they played and you know, the outcome showed.
I think we gave up too many opportunities. I really think we got down the field and we kind of fumbled our way through some. We really didn't look like a cohesive unit out there on some points, and I mean we had 17 points in the first half and didn't score the second half. I mean it really comes down to basic miscues that we missed, and I think if we get that, then we win this ball game.
Playing these 5A teams is just great for us as a whole, and really just getting us right for the rest of the season. I mean, you can say what you want. We got guys like Emel Picarella, Zay Martin. I mean, if I'm not running the ball, we for sure pass it. We got the receivers. And don't let me talk about defense. I mean, our defense is, of course, stacked. I mean, we got huge names everywhere, so I don't have to worry about anything.
Ruston was at Jesuit after making the longest road trip of the week, hoping to be in the Crescent City again come December. The Bearcats down the Blue Jays, scoring on 4 straight possessions in the second half to break a 7-7 deadlock.
It was tough. You know, Warren Easton's a good football team, and then you got to back it up and drive down here to New Orleans and play another good football team in Jesuit. You know, we bring the most experience back on defense, and so early in the season we're going to have to lean on those guys. Hopefully they'll play well, keep us in some ball games while some guys on offense are gaining some experience.
LCA traveled to Baton Rouge for a matchup at Woodlawn and scored 7 touchdowns behind quarterback Jawan Johnson. Johnson threw touchdowns to 3 different receivers, and the Knights ran off 35 unanswered points to put away the Panthers 49-14. And a couple of eye-catching efforts on a stormy Thursday night. Ascension Catholic weathered a 2-hour lightning delay at Opelousas Catholic, taking a 39-28 thriller over the Vikings. Chad Elzey scored 3 touchdowns in the game, including one on a kickoff return and another where he shed 2 tacklers hanging on his back at the same time. And Live Oak players spent about an hour back on their buses for what turned out to be a 5-hour ordeal at Dunham that included 2 weather delays and a lighting issue at halftime. The Tigers jumped on the Eagles for a 21-0 lead and held on for a midnight final of 24-14. This football season is really starting to hit its stride. Join us next week for more action on the High School Spotlight, brought to you by the LHSAA Network.